Well, how did everybody do? Those questions were courtesy of Mama's Gone Detecting. We've been talking about trying to get some more questions to try to stump you all out there, and she came up with a few, and I've incorporated them into the stream. So we're going to try to have a few of those at every live stream we start off, and they were some great questions. I see there was a number of answers weren't quite correct, but hey, what can you do? You've come close to it, and practice. Nobody knows the YouTube community like Mama's Gone Detecting, and she's come up with some great questions, and I really appreciate it. But anyway, I would just like to welcome everybody to the live stream today. We've got a great guest, Anthony from Brooklyn Treasure Hunter. He's sitting in the back room, in the green room we call it. He's just, I think the sweat's just pouring down his forehead, and he's just sweating away. But he's a new detector, fairly new for us, and so we've got him on, and let's see what kind of questions we can kind of stump him on, if any. And anyway, I'd like to say welcome, Anthony, and here we go. Let's just bring you in. There's the man of the hour.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, very well, thank you.
Very bright over here.
Yeah, hey, I guess you're so important, God's really just shining that light down on you, We might have to wear some sunglasses. Oh, man. Hey, how you doing today?
Doing good,
Good. Hey, a question for you, Anthony. Brooklyn, what is your area like? I mean, do you have beaches around your place? Do you have parks nearby? How do you get out and hunt?
There's a lot of parks nearby here. A couple I can't hunt in. There's one called Brooklyn Bridge Park, and you can't hunt in there. But I'm about 5 minutes away from Prospect Park, about 5 minutes away from Fort Greene Park, which are two very large parks that I could hunt in.
Okay.
And then the beaches are about a good half hour away.
Okay. Now, and in terms of hunting, which do you like better, the parks or the beaches?
I like the beaches. It's just it's easier on my it's easier on my back.
Yeah.
But going out there with the scoop, and it's just a little bit easier. But I tend to like going to the parks just as much, just due to the fact that you're going to find more silver and things like that at the park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got to. Yeah, I guess some of the items are they're going to last. Where the salt water would probably kind of deteriorate some of the items there. But yeah, so that's interesting. So now you've just been in the hobby just over the last little while, but from what I can see with your channel, your logo, you've come a long ways. You've been watching a lot of YouTube channels, from what I can see.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching a lot of the videos that everybody put out. Gives me an idea of different styles of how they go out and detect, and it's a way of learning. It's I didn't know anything as far as when it came to using a metal detector, and going online and just watching the videos, watching how everybody used, especially the Knox, because there's so many people that use it.
Yeah. Oh, you're freezing. Oh, you froze up. You're good. You're good now. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So it. But yeah. So, when you got into metal detecting, was there somebody that kind of got you going on it, or how did you get involved?
Well, it was the beginning of the pandemic, and I was looking at some videos on photography, and I got bored, and I saw a video that Robert Ferguson had put out, and he's a beach detector. And from there, it was just, I thought it was so cool. I started looking up if there was anybody in New York that metal detected. And I ended up finding Metal Detecting NYC, which is Merrill's channel.
Yeah, yeah.
And I watched a few of his videos and I was hooked.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah,
was like, I
yeah,
just wanted to get a metal detector that same
yeah,
day.
yeah. Do you remember what your first find was?
My first find was actually a Wheatie. Oh, no,
Oh,
actually, that was in my first park hunt. I had just gotten the Knox and I took a ride to Brighton Beach with my wife, and we were just starting everything up. I had no idea what I was doing. I had the paper that came with the Knox showing how to use it, and I was just going through all the starter
yeah.
parts and stuff. And the next thing I know, some guy walked up to me and he's like, "Can that find the phone?" I was like, "Yeah, I think it can." They were like, because my wife lost my phone and I have no idea where it is, and I have all my kids' pictures in it. He was infuriated at his wife, and so I started looking, and they actually showed me the area where it was supposed to be, and I couldn't find it. There was nothing there, and as they were leaving, I was walking back up towards the boardwalk, and I got a quarter signal, and I started digging it, and it was the phone.
Wow, wow.
And that was my first find. And we started screaming. My wife ran up to the people, and they were like, "No, no, no, come back! He found it."
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That is a cool thing when you can find something and return it to a person, isn't it?
oh, it was so like gratifying. And the people were like, "Here, here!" They wanted to give me money, and I'm like,
Yeah,
"I don't want your money." I said, "I'm just glad I was able to find it for you."
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it
No,
was it was really it was a fun experience.
yeah, yeah. No, it's yeah. It is really cool to do that. I've only had, I think, two opportunities where I've returned something that I found for somebody. So and but yeah, those are great. To see that. So in terms of machines, you're a Knox guy, right? You're
Yes.
now. Have you made any changes to the settings, or are you using the straight kind of the factory settings on it, or how are you using that machine?
When I started, I was basically using the factory settings, all the default settings that came on it. And then I just started getting more and more into trying to get an idea of how to use it. So many other people have said, "Oh, go to your recovery speed, change that, your iron bias, things like that." And I just started, looking more into it and putting everything together. Getting my own little settings, into it. And then I recently had picked up the Equinox book that I think it's Andy Sabish or
Yes. Yeah.
Sabich. I don't know
Yeah.
how to say his last
Yeah.
name, but he put out, and I've been reading that, and it's really informative.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nice that it's like they tell you these are just the groundwork. You could put this in, doesn't mean it's going to work here. If they're in Canada or they're in Australia, it might not work perfectly or exactly the way they're using it, but you tweak it from there.
Yeah. Now, in his book, he also has a coin hunting program in there. Have you tried to
Yes,
set that in yours? Yeah.
I haven't put it in there yet, but I actually just got to that part when I was reading it.
Yeah, yeah, no, it is cool. I mean, it really does work for the U.S. coins. It's a great program for it. I tried it on our Canadian clad, and it doesn't work as well. I still have to do a lot of. I have to have all iron mode on to make it work for
Right.
us in here. But for the U.S. coins, it is bang on. Like when I get the numbers, and if I find it's a U.S. coin, I know it's exactly what the settings that came out of his book. So he's done a great job of it, and is a great person for anybody out there that wants to learn is to get that book. It's well worth the investments for it. So
Yeah, and it's not to say like a very expensive book or anything like that either. So it's well worth getting.
yeah, yeah. Now, have you had any opportunities to go out and hunt with anybody around your areas?
I've hunted with a lot of the New York City crew, Metal Detecting NYC, Merrill.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a couple of the people that hunt usually with him, Dog Star Blazer, Carlos,
Yeah.
Pack Rat, NYC Metal Detecting, Fernando. I've gone with him. Jonathan from the Detecting Zone, Tracy's Treasures, Jackpot G Lars. Trying to think who else. Um, and that was my first hunt was actually a group hunt with a lot of them also
Wow.
at Prospect
Yeah.
Park.
Yeah. Man, you're so fortunate to have all those great channels out there to hunt with and to learn from. No wonder you've come such a long ways in such a short time.
Yeah, I mean they were. I reached out to them and had asked them because I had seen a couple of videos where they had gone to Prospect Park,
Yeah.
and I had reached out to actually to Carlos Dog Star Blazer, and I had told them, I said, are you guys ever going to be coming to Prospect Park again to do a group hunt? And he was like, "Oh yeah, definitely. We're actually planning something within the next couple of weeks." And this was back in June of last year.
Hmm.
And I gave him my number, and he contacted me. Was like, "Hey, we're gonna be there this Sunday. You want to come down?" I was like, "Definitely." And I met them all there, and we had a good time.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's cool. Now, do you belong to any metal detecting clubs, or are there metal detecting clubs around your area?
I don't belong to any, and I don't think there are any in Brooklyn that I know of. I actually tried looking up, but I couldn't. There's a couple I think in Staten Island and New Jersey,
Uh-huh.
but none that I know of in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, so it's pretty cool to. I mean, I think that was when I got into it. That was the first thing I looked up a couple of detecting clubs in my area and get
Hmm.
involved with it because that's how you really learn a lot from those guys that have been at it for 30, 40 years. Some of them, it
Yeah.
is incredible, and and I think one of the oldest guys in the club that I belong to. We went to one meeting. We were sitting out before the meeting started, and he brought his little treasure chest. It literally was a treasure chest. He dumped it up on the table, and it was a pile of gold necklaces, diamond necklaces, and bracelets, and rings, and I swore it was a treasure chest, pirate's treasure. He says, "Yeah, I found all these over a 40-year period, and he hasn't sold anything." So it's kind of a pretty cool thing to have, yeah. So now, what would you like to find that you haven't found yet? I know there's
Oh
probably a
wow.
lot on the list, but
And there is a lot on the list. I have a lot of bucket listers. I haven't found any like barber quarters or seated dimes or anything like that. I would love to find a tribe.
yeah,
Um, there's just so many things I would love to. I haven't found any like gold rings or anything like that
okay,
yet. So I'm
yeah,
hoping in the spring. I'm
yeah,
hoping that all this COVID craziness will be under control and people will be going to the beaches
yeah,
again, so they could drop
yeah,
all their jewelry and I could go
yeah.
find
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it's really funny, Like I mean, people do, like I say, when they start out, and I guess that's always the hope is to find a gold ring. And a lot of times,
Yeah.
like yourself, now you've been at it for almost a year now, correct?
Yeah, almost. It's going on about 7 months.
Yeah. So, and you haven't found a gold ring yet.
No.
And you know what? When I first started, the very first thing I found was a gold diamond ring. That's the very first thing. Down on the beach on Maui, I had my detector, and that's what we got. It's just so
Yeah.
it could be kind of reversed for somebody else, but yeah,
Right. It
yeah,
all depends how it's gonna, how the cards are gonna fall.
yeah, yeah. Now, have you tried to get any permissions to go hunting in your area?
There's like in my area, it's very city. It's
Mm-hmm.
very much city, and there's really nothing to say like a person's like bit large front yards or anything like that I could go and see if they'd let me detect it.
Okay.
So I'm basically stuck more to the parks and the beaches.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Isn't that something? So, but yeah, it's I know, and I've seen some videos of people back back in your area there with on the boulevards, doing boulevards along there, that hunting and finding some of those old silver coins and things, So I'm not sure if you have them around your area, but
like the little medians in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't have them anywhere around that.
Oh, okay. Because another thing I could suggest is if you're ever traveling around, and I did this when I was going visiting my kids, was I hit the rest areas. I pulled in there and I got my detector out just to walk around and kind of loosen up. And the very first thing I found was a silver ring. Beautiful native carved silver ring that I gave to my daughter. Old cars, an old toy train part. So lots of stuff there, because people stop, they'll lose it, they don't come back, they just keep on going on their trips. So and the U.S. has got some great rest areas, along the highways that you can go in there. So just a thought, for you to think about, and so. But now, what's the biggest surprise that you've had metal detecting?
Biggest surprise?
Yeah.
I was digging in a park a couple of months ago, and it wasn't the actual type of place you would actually find a chrotal bell, and I found a chrotal bell there.
Yeah.
And when I pulled it out, I was shocked, because I was like, I didn't think they would have any horses or anything like that going through that park at the time. Later on, I found out that there was actually a large mansion that used to be at the top of the hill of the park, and that there probably was horses and stuff that went through there. I found that there was a battle that had actually gone on in that park. Mm-hmm. So I tend to go there a lot.
Yeah.
Even if it's kind of not to say hunted out, but every time I go there, I basically find a lot of the same stuff, mainly clad. But every now and then, you pull a couple of little special finds out of there.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think with everything, Anthony, is that when you go to the beaches, there's so many people that are hunting them. You go to the park, there's so many people are hunting it. But you know what? You cannot cover every square inch of the area that you're in. So always, when you go out, there's always something new turning up. People are finding something. I see friends in our club, they'll go out to the beach and they come home with a mitt full of stuff. And I've been there, a couple days before. So they've gone over a different area and have found something new. So it's things are there. So we just have to kind of keep going back and listening to that tone in that machine, telling us what it's doing, and so but yeah.
That's what I'm starting to get. I'm starting to get used to. A lot of times when I was going out, I didn't know. I was thinking I was mostly iron, but I was getting a couple of signals with the iron signals, and I was just saying, "Oh, there's nothing there," and I would just keep on walking.
Yeah.
And now I've been getting more into a point where I'm hearing it and I'm trying to discriminate between the two and saying, no, there is something else there, and I'm going to dig. Yeah. And a lot of times, you'll pull out that piece of iron, that nail or that bottle cap or whatever, and then underneath it is where, that special something's going to be.
Yeah. And I think I think everybody, and I can speak for everybody, I think we all do that. We tend to kind of, this is just such and such. And those numbers can change with the different items. And I was watching Mermaid Treasure Hunter the other day, and she was getting some numbers on some of her. She had some big pull tabs in Japan on Okinawa, and the numbers were coming up that she thought would be a large coin, but they were coming up as a pull tab. And I've come across the same scenarios where, this is going to be such and such, and I dig it. And it turns out to be a great little chain or an earring. Especially when they're round, you always get great tones on it. But it's so yeah. So we got to dig it, And I have another detector that I use on the beaches, the White's TDI Beach Hunter, and that one there, it just tells me there's something there. So I dig everything. And that's the only way. And then as soon as I pick up my Knox, I go, oh, should I dig this? But yeah, so we gotta dig it till we're 100% sure that it's not something good, and it's pretty hard to do that. So
Right.
now, in terms of watching the YouTube videos and things, is there any videos that you think people should have made for somebody starting new to help them?
I mean, there's so many videos on YouTube that you're bound to find something, even if you're new.
Yeah.
I mean, I went on and I was just putting in like equinox for beginners, metal detecting for beginners, and I was getting so many videos
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would pop up.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them though were a little bit more advanced than I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think because the people who were doing them were so comfortable in what they've been doing for so long that it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
came easy for them to just say, and then you got to do this, and then you got to do that, and then, but it's for somebody who doesn't know anything. Some of the terms that they were using confused me a little. So, if anything, I would say to make a video where it's more, with simpler terms, not using so much of the terminology that we use when we're talking, like clad. I had no
Yeah.
idea when they were saying, oh, and I was just this is.
Yeah.
I was finding so much clad, and I was like, what the hell is clad?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, how true it is, and I agree with you, and I was the same way when I got started too, is thinking like, okay, what do I need? I mean, I got the machine, and that was before I got involved with the club. Now, and then to get out with it, okay, now how do I look for things on the beach? And I started.
right,
Beach is the easiest to start. To get out on the beach, it's the easiest
yeah,
digging. So to get out there, so from that, I kind of said, okay, I'm going to start making some videos because as a newbie, I want to know, okay, what kind of shovel do I really need? What kind of scoop do I need? And the lesh knife and those sort of things that it seemed like they weren't explained in some of those videos. I don't know if you found that.
no, I pretty much knew that I had to get a scoop for the beach and a shovel and a hand tool for going when I go to the parks or you're digging a field or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, but one thing that's different in New York is you actually need a permit
Oh, okay.
to metal detect. It's a free permit for New York City,
Yeah.
and they basically give you a list of all the five boroughs, all the parks and beaches that you're allowed to hunt in.
Hmm.
And there's little things on them like Prospect Park. You can't go hunt during the week. It's only on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
Certain other parks you can't hunt near the baseball fields or near the playground areas, things like that.
Yeah.
But you know, it was just I had to learn a little bit more of where I could go, what I could do, and go from there.
Yeah, because that's it's funny thing about the permits because that's what I noticed too. Like I'm just above Washington and Oregon, and Washington has the same thing. The state parks, there's areas in there you can hunt, but you need a permit, and you can get the permits online. So all the parks that you need permits are listed, so you can just kind of check them off and which ones you're going to go. So when we go traveling, I usually go through it. So just to have that, just in case, somebody comes up and says something. So,
Right.
yeah, we don't need that in Canada as of yet, or at least in Vancouver where we are, that we don't need the permits. But, I imagine it may be coming down the road, sometime. So, it's just a good idea to keep tabs on people. And
Yeah.
now, the other thing is when we go out, I always try, if I see somebody new, I try to kind of help them and talk with them, and and making sure that they fill up their holes, and that make sure that it looks like you haven't even been there,
Yeah.
because I think that's one of the worst things that as metal detectors we can do is leave big holes. And we've caught a few people locally that were doing that out in just outside of Vancouver, and it's kind of given a
Right.
bad name to some people, So
Yeah, and we do the same thing here. Um, I knew that's one thing that I learned right off the bat when I was watching a lot of videos getting into this.
hmm
That I had seen in a couple of videos of people who metal detect in New York how there was a time in New York where they didn't even let you metal detect. they took it away. Basically, they wouldn't let you go to the parks because of a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was due to a lot of metal detectorists forming, I think, some kind of a board or something like that that actually got it, got the parks to allow them to go back.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever we're out there, I mean, when we see other metal detectors, they're always like, oh, make sure, you put your plug back the way it should be, or at least try to make it, don't leave a hole for somebody to trip in and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing to do. I know there's one area in our area here that our club's the only club that's really kind of allowed to dig in their municipality, as they've kind of, because they know that when we go in there, we will make sure everything is just like no one's ever been there, so.
Right.
Now, have you ever dug anything for the police department? Have they ever come help us find some bullets or some guns or something like that?
No, I haven't done anything like that.
Okay, yeah, because I think our club has been asked in the past to do something like that for them. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting.
I think it's pretty cool. Wouldn't mind trying it if they came to me. I would definitely help out.
Yeah. I know BC Treasure Trails, he's on here, and he was asking me about doing a little hunt in one of the park areas for some items, and I haven't heard from him. But so sometimes people are they just want to have the detectors out there and looking to see if we can get something happening there. But what has been the dumbest, the craziest thing that you found that you never thought you'd ever find? Something crazy. Have you found anything like that?
Well, I actually was digging and I found, well, I wouldn't say it's dumb. It was actually, I think it was a Hindu statue, it was actually a Hindu wall statue or something like that. And I had put a picture up of it, but I was on the beach and it felt kind of weird that I found this. I was like, it didn't look like it was something that had been there for very, very long. And when I had put the picture up right off the beach, I put it onto my Instagram. JHH, the Jersey History Hunters, had put up, oh, that's a Hindu water something kind of type of statue.
Yeah.
A lot of times what they do is they said Hindu people will actually bury that in the sand. It's like for the water gods and for good luck and things like that, and with money.
That's cool.
So I was glad that I actually put it back in the hole and buried it again.
Yeah. No, it's
and I left
interesting. Yeah, because I think I was watching.
But I mean,
go ahead.
One of the craziest things I actually had found, though, and it's a little disgusting, but I was actually digging on a beach, and somebody must have buried their dog's poop in the bag. They picked it up, but they didn't throw it in the garbage. They buried it.
Yeah.
I put my my scoop in there, and as I'm picking it up, I'm like, oh, God. I had to go. Thank God I was on the beach. I was able to go wash the scoop out and everything.
Isn't that something?
But that was like...
Yeah, I mean, I was watching somebody else's channel, and I saw them. They found a hip joint. There was no meat attached to it. It was just the actual ball bearing, when they replace a hip.
Yeah.
They found that on there. So, and I don't know if they ever kind of track, because they come with serial numbers. They know who they put it into and whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, it was the weirdest thing. Like it was down in the ocean, off the ocean, that they found this. So it's kind of I thought, wow, that was kind of cool. But hey, listen, we've got some great stuff coming up here. You sent some photos we want to talk about. And I just want to talk about this little overlay here for the people out in the audience, that I'm going to be doing a little bit more in terms of helping new channels and old channels. And then this is going to be the format for that particular live stream. I'm going to use these little with people's names on on there to give them a little extra little boost, from the channel. And so let's go in and we're going to look at some of this stuff that you found, and I'd like to hear the stories behind them, So now we've got this one here is a little blurry, but as a photographer, I'll forgive you on this one. Oh.
Actually, take it with my iPhone. That's the first time I had no idea what I had gotten, and I was with another detectorist, this guy named Geronimo,
Hmm.
and I had told him, I said, I think I have a flat button, but I'm not sure how old it is. And he was looking at it. He's like, "Oh no, definitely, you got a flat button." He goes, "This could be even from like 1800s." He goes, he was the one who actually told me in that park where the mansion used to be. He was the one
Yeah,
that said
yeah.
there was actually some kind of a battle that was fought there, so it could be a flat button that came off somebody, some a soldier's coat or something like that, or uniform. So it was pretty cool, and I had kept it that day, and I was like, I really didn't know what it was at first.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I've never found anything like that in those buttons. So, I mean, you guys have all the buttons, all the bullets, and everything down in your neck of the woods. So, but it's cool to find that, especially with that little clip is still attached to it.
The
Usually those
shank is
things
still
are
on it, yeah.
broken and worn out, and yeah. So now this one here is you've got some coins here. I guess you've
Yeah, two
acquired
walking
somewhere. Yeah,
liberties, and it's
yeah.
funny. There's a there's a story behind this as far as I did not dig them up. I was looking through an old suitcase
Mm-hmm.
that we had in my house that belonged to my father-in-law who had passed away, and my wife was like, "Just throw it out, throw it out." And I said, "No, I want to look. I'm gonna, look
Yeah,
through it
yeah.
just in case. You never know what you find." And both of these coins popped out of it. And I thought they were so cool. It was a 1918 and a 1936 Walking Liberties, which are like, they're kind of sentimental to me because my
Mm-hmm.
father in law was a really great guy. And, he meant a lot to me.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
So
pretty cool to
having
have
these
that. Yeah,
two,
yeah, uh,
having those two coins
yeah,
they're very
yeah.
special to me.
And they're silver. 90%
Yeah.
silver. Yeah. So I mean, I just want to make on my next coin hunting episode I'm going to have. I have some questions are going to come on to the silver coins, when and where they are. So people out there, study up on them. The questions are going to be coming. So now you've got this one here. This one's still in
Yeah.
the dirt. It's
It was I had dug it up. I was out with Merrill from Metal Detecting NYC,
yeah,
and I had dug up a penny. And after I pulled out the penny, I still had a target in there. And when I went down to look at it, I was like, okay, this is larger than a penny, but it didn't look like a Jefferson nickel. It turned out it was a V nickel. It's a 1911 V nickel. And the picture does it no justice because it was very sunny out. I mean, you can make out the V a little in the middle, but it was the first V nickel I had ever found.
wow, okay. I've never even seen a V nickel, so I would like to see a whole one all done there. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's cool. Now this one here is this is a mercury, right?
Yes, Mercury dime. That
Yeah,
was actually my first Merc that I found, first silver I ever dug up, also.
yeah, yeah.
And it was the end of the day. I was out with a friend of mine. His name is Spike. He has a channel called We Be from Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
and it was funny. We've known each other since we were young, since we were teenagers, but we don't really hang out that much. But we have good friends on Facebook, and we have a lot of mutual friends. And a couple of months ago, I look on Facebook, and there's a picture of him walking on the beach with a metal detector. So I reached out to him, and I'm like, "When did you start doing this? I never knew you were into it." And he was like, "Oh, I just started over the pandemic. I got into it."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "So did I." So since then, we meet up quite often, and we go out together and hunt.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had taken him. This was on his first park hunt. It was the
Okay.
end of the day. He was digging. He was digging some. I was so tired. We were out there for like 6 hours, 7 hours. My legs were killing me.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I told him, I said, okay, we were getting ready to leave. And I just started swinging the knocks while he was finishing up his
Mm-hmm.
dig. and I got a signal, started digging, and out popped the silver.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
a
was like, I
cool.
was
Yeah, and it looks like it's really got a lot of details still left on it too, doesn't it?
it's actually in really good shape,
Yeah, yeah,
in really good shape.
yeah. I've never found one. I haven't had one, but I'm looking forward to getting one. So.
Yeah.
Now this one here is, you've found things that people, I find gold rings, and I've always wanted to get a bell. You got a bell and no gold rings, so maybe we should
Yeah.
switch.
That's fine. I'll send you the bell. You can send me the ring.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was watching Indiana Tones last night, and he found one with the thing still inside. Dingle, dingle, dingle. A
Yeah.
nice big one too.
This one actually still rings. I cleaned it out. I got it
Okay.
here. And one thing that I learned actually, I still call it a crotal bell, but
Yeah.
it's from what I've learned. Somebody told me it's a sleigh bell
Sleigh bells.
because
Yeah.
the crotal bell will have the little notch on top where they would put like the wire or the chain or whatever
Yeah.
it is through it,
Yeah.
and a sleigh bell the top of it would look almost like a little rivet because
Okay.
it would be riveted to like the long pieces of leather, and they
Okay.
would put them around the horses. I don't
Well,
know,
that's
their
that's good
necks
to
or
know.
their
Yeah.
bridles.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So you still have
it's
that? Oh wow.
still rings.
So was it? Is it a little pea in there? What did they put in there?
It's a piece of metal.
Is it a piece of metal? Oh, okay.
It's metal, and I'll tell you right now, this is heavy.
Really? So is it made out of brass or what's the material?
It looks like it's. I
Or
think
pewter or
it's made out of brass or pewter or something. I mean, when I pulled it out, I was like, "Oh my god!" At first, I thought it was like one of these little bells that they would tie onto like a foil balloon
yeah,
because
yeah.
I just saw it from the bottom part of it where the slit was. And when I pulled it out, I was like, "Oh no, this is something different." And then I put a picture up, and somebody told me, "Oh yeah, you found the crotal bell."
Hmm.
So I was really excited when I found this.
Yeah, that is a
I
cool
was
thing to
looking at
find.
Tones
Yeah.
last night
Yeah.
also, and I saw that
Yeah.
he found basically a large version of it. It looks almost the same, but
Yeah.
his had the little piece on
Yeah.
top.
Yeah. Well, DF Digger is saying it's probably brass. It's made of brass. He's the expert on bells. So I gotta take
Yeah,
his word for it.
he finds some awesome
Oh
stuff in that
yeah,
river.
yeah, yeah. So this photo is kind of a cool thing too. Mr. Lincoln bracelet.
Yeah, I I found that on the beach on Coney Island Beach. I was actually just walking by the water, and I wasn't getting that many targets, so I had headed up to the dry sand, and I was finding a couple of surface finds, and then I got a penny signal, and I just saw one piece of it sticking out, like one of the pennies out of the sand. And when I put my scoop in and I started picking it up, it was hanging on the edge of the scoop.
Yeah, yeah.
And I brought it home, and I figured, okay, I said, it's nothing that I'm like going to put in a flip or break up or anything. I said, how do I clean it? Because it was really tarnished up a lot. So I went onto YouTube, and I found out that somebody had put ketchup all over the penny, and it cleans it because the
Yeah,
acid from the
acid
tomato.
from the tomatoes. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I basically put it into a cup of ketchup for about 15 minutes,
Oh,
and
okay.
it came out
Cleaned
clean.
up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess it's just a natural acid, within the
Yeah,
fruit. It probably doesn't really hurt the metal that much. It just kind of cleans the gunk off it.
yeah,
So, yeah, that is cool. Yeah. So someone put that together, and I see it's in the 70s and 60s. So they're,
yeah.
it's, it's
They're all real copper.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
they
man,
soldered them all together.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's cool. The cool thing to have. And then this one here, and I've seen a couple of these with these kind of emblems on there. Where did the mint down the states make these with this, or was it put on after?
No, this was somebody must have actually stamped it. It's a Freemason
Mm-hmm.
sign,
Okay.
and I was coin roll hunting some pennies, and I
Oh,
found it.
Okay.
and I thought it was so interesting. And it was funny because like a couple of weeks after that, I was watching online on YouTube about with somebody coin roll hunting like Sacagawea dollars and the president dollar coins,
Yeah.
and they found one with the same symbol,
Okay.
and they were saying the same thing. Somebody had told me that the Freemason, like, they would stamp these, and like if you were a Mason, you would actually hold on to this. I don't know
Is it
what
like
it was
good
used
luck?
for. I don't know what it was for, what it was used for, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I should do a little bit more research into it. I just
Yeah.
thought it was so cool, so
Huh.
I was like, I'm keeping this.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is kind of cool to have that on there. To being stamped like that. But yeah, wow, that's a cool thing to have. Now, what we're going to do, Anthony, is we're going to move on, and we've got a couple of giveaways that I want to do, and we're going to move into some scenes, and these are just some more templates that I've made up. So when we have more people in here, I'm trying to keep the same format in there. And so what I wanted to do is I'm going to bring up my giveaway one here. Just hold on for a sec, focus. I'm just starting this up. Oh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I lost it. Figures. When I want it, I can't find it. There it is. So, we're going to do some giveaways here, and I have a number of items. I've got some greeting cards I want to give away with some stickers in them, 2 packages, and Anthony graciously sent me some extra stickers, so I'm going to include them into these giveaways with the greeting cards and some stickers from some other channels. What I wanted to do is, I think I have everybody on here, and that I've had in my channel in the past. I've put you onto the wheel, and hopefully you're here when we spin this, and we can kind of give it away and find out. But if you're not, I'm sorry. Maybe better luck next time for it. But I wanted to just kind of spin this, and let's see who our first person is going to be. I'm going to go and get this thing happening. And let's hope that person is in the chat. Whoa! Hey, risers! Okay, and they are here. I know he's here. I've seen Charlie. Yeah, Charlie's here. So, Charlie, I'm putting your name on this one here. You're going to get a greeting card. DiggingRichmond, DJ's, a greeting card from me, and one from Anthony. So, I'm just going to put Charlie Risers. And it's going to be in the mail next week, Charlie. So, thank you. And let's spin that wheel again and see if we can get anybody else. Another one. Just missed Metal Sharks on that one. That was so close to you. Yep. There, J-Man. So let's see if maybe we get lucky again. So let's go. Wow, look at this. Hey! And I know Jason's here. Jason's a big supporter of all the channels. He's in everybody's channel. So, Jason, I'm going to need an address from you. So if you could email me something. I've got the parcel, a little present here for you. So please do that. I'm just going to put your name on it, and we'll go from that. So the 2 giveaways for now, and we'll just kind of close that up from that. And let me just back step here a little bit. And I have one spot here that I could bring up somebody that would like to come up and chat and ask some questions from Anthony. And I've just put that into the chat. If you want to click on it, we'll get you to come in, and you can talk with us. and tell us who you are and where you've been. So, but see if there's somebody out there that is brave enough to step up into the limelight. It's not always the case, you know. Like people are just, I don't want to push that button. I don't want to push that button, you know. So, but yeah, it's been, hey, Anthony, it's been a real pleasure chatting with you. You know, it just it's nice to hear people's stories, and I try to kind of convey that to everybody, you know, a very relaxed way, and not to, you know, go overboard on things.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, no, we really appreciate it that you coming on and spending time. We've got in the next while, we've got quite a few people coming up in terms of guests. I've got, let me just go through here. So next February 3rd, we have We Dig It family is going to be coming on, and I look forward to them also. On the 5th, which is the Friday, is Zarps from South Africa is going to be on. On the 12th, I have Park Rat Detecting is going to be coming. And then on the 19th, we have Mermaid Treasure Hunter, all the way from Okinawa. Yeah. And she's in, I see her, she is in the chat somewhere. So thanks for coming, Christy, to being in the chat. So, but we look forward to seeing, and she's finding some amazing things. So if you haven't seen her channel, look at it, hit that subscribe and hit that like button. But she's just a great detectress also, and another lady detector. You know, so there that whole side of detecting is really growing. You know, like it's blossoming with all these ladies detecting. So. But yeah. But anyway, it you know, it's just good to talk with you. And I was going to ask you now, if you were in my shoes, Anthony, what questions would you have asked? Oh, wow. I've got somebody. Let me just bring them up in here. And hold on. We have. Hey, there's Marlon.
Hey,
yes,
Marlon.
Marlon always has. He knows how to push those buttons.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Just give me a second here. I'm switching phones.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay. Welcome, Marlon. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Perfect.
Hey, were you in the? I think you missed it. You missed the questions that we had with you and Mark the Berg.
Yeah, I was late.
Yes, and Mama's gone detecting. She worked hard on that.
One
question.
second.
Yeah.
1 second. You guys don't got me yet.
Don't got you? We got you. We can see you. We can hear you. Oh. I think you're frozen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he froze up. I guess that Alberta is probably minus there, so he's probably freezing up there. So, yeah.
Yep, he's all frozen.
He's
up.
frozen. Hey, he's kicked out, so he's going to come back in again. He's going to give it another shot. So, but
yeah, I think you asked a lot of great questions. I mean, I can't really think of anything else that.
Just sometimes, you know, like I said, people, you know, like, oh, you should ask me this, you know, and then, but yeah, you know, so I try to, you know, ask the questions relevant to that person in the area. So, but yeah, I mean, I like I say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think our guests have enjoyed it also. Yeah, here he is. He's back in again. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, I fixed it. I think.
Fixed it. Yeah, you were freezing up there. Yeah. You're freezing up. So, yeah. But yeah, nice to have you on, Marlon. You know.
Thanks. Yeah. So I was late for the questions because I was invited to be live on Detector Kev's.
Okay. Yeah.
UK fun and drinking.
Oh yeah, the Friday night frolicking with the
yeah. I'm currently having A seizure.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, okay. That's good.
Caesar.
Yeah.
Caesar,
What
yeah.
is the Caesar?
It's the clamato juice. So you take tomato and they squeeze clams into it.
Right.
And this one is it has my
Pickled
name
bean.
on it. It has my name, yeah, pickled bean.
Yeah, that's actually it's a good drink with that. I like the pickled bean. Yeah, I think it's more of a Canadian drink, Anthony.
Oh, for sure. They call it Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
Frank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bloody
Okay.
Mary.
Yeah.
Without the clam. Yeah, and I always bring my girl to the bottle store, as I call it, and she I think picked it based on the labeling. What do you think? Would a 7-year-old pick this vodka based on the label?
That is quite something. Yeah, quite colorful.
Yeah,
it's very
colorful.
Got
the what do you call those? I used to know what those were called in Ukrainian.
Yeah. No, that's good. Yeah, I mean it's nice to have that Friday night after work. Well, what do you do when you're retired? I can't say, oh, I've had a tough week. You know, can I say I've had a tough week being retired? It's not the same, you know. There's Marlon. I mean, he's just getting over his operation and be getting ready.
I got to go back to work.
Back to work. Might have a little shock, you know.
Oh yeah, everyone's gonna have a shock. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, we're lucky. Anthony's retired just like me, you know. So we're not.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we're not doing too bad. So.
I always tell people I'm like semi-retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I need a few more years of work before I'm there for sure. So
yeah. Now, who have you got coming on your stream, Marlon, coming up?
Oh,
well
this Sunday. I got an action-packed lineup. I think we got 2 members of the Rat Pack. We have the leader himself, Park Rat Pat from Park Rat Metal Detecting.
Yeah.
And then We Dig It, Gene from the Virgin Islands is joining us.
Yeah.
And also Nathaniel Outdoor Adventures from Switzerland.
Okay. Yeah.
That's right.
Where's
and I think Gene's on your show soon.
Yeah,
too,
Gene's coming up on. Yeah, I'm going to have the whole crew, the boys and him. So yeah.
I don't know if he's coming by himself for my show or bringing the family. I didn't specify.
Yeah.
Open
so great bunch to get on with the channel. So so. But yeah, no, that's good. Okay, so you've got that on Sunday morning, you know. So
after Liz.
After Liz's, happening. So for sure. Okay, but yeah, no, that's it's a good thing to know what's coming up, and I think American Woodland was doing a list of people's channels that are coming up. So
that was really handy.
Yeah, you know, so yeah.
He has a live stream. I think it's tomorrow at 5:30. Every Saturday, I think it is at 5:30. He does one.
Yeah.
And then Monday's Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday's Jersey History Hunters.
Yeah.
Wednesday's the Plug Life with the Copperheads.
Yeah. And I see Christy's still here from Mermaid Treasure Hunters. It's got to be wee hours of the morning over in Okinawa, I think, you know, so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing with this live streaming, is like you can get people from all around the world. We could be talking to somebody in the future, and we could be talking to somebody in the past, all at the same time. You know,
you had Japan, you had the Japan History Hunters, or Japan Treasure Hunters.
They were in the future, yeah.
And they were the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
So it's really, really weird how things like that work. But it's been a great hour chatting with you, and thanks, Marlon, for coming on. I'm going to
no problem
and shut this down, but I'm going to do this, like I say, this template that I have with people's channels on it. I've got a whole show kind of set up around that. We'll get people coming in and talking. If you don't see your name on there, let me know. We'll put it up on the board and get it on.
Mine just has no S, Mayor.
Oh, okay. Well, we can fix
that.
We can fix that. We can fix that. Yeah. And that's
next time you're modifying it. No worries.
Yeah.
I didn't even see how I was on there, and then it just popped.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, now you mentioned that. Yeah. So, But yeah, sometimes like I'm doing all these typing out, so it could be it's easy to kind of mess up. So, and then I guess we've got as Nancy was saying, we have the Mellymans coming on tonight too, 7 p.m. So he's very close. So so it's kind of a good thing to have. But I just want to kind of run through and thank everybody that's come through. Let me just kind of go back through the chat here. And then we'll say goodbye to you all. I've got Marty's Nuts About Digging in Coins. Thanks for coming, Marty. And
Team
Mermaid,
Canada.
Chris, Treasure Hunter, thank you. Mayor, Marlon, thank you, and thanks for coming on. And Riser's Treasure Hunting Emporium, thanks for coming. Madison, Maine, thanks, Richie, and we'll talk with you later. Metal Sharks, BC Treasure Trails, thank you. Digging Iowa with the Coin Boy. Ambient Girl, as always, Nancy, thank you very much. You rock.
Queen of
thank
the
you.
Mods.
Yes, absolutely. And Digging Iowa, DF Digger, and thank you all the way from the East Coast there. Digging Iowa, Mares, Reezers. Oh, let's see who else we have hit on here.
Indiana Tones.
Indiana Tones, yes, he's in here.
Jersey History Hunters.
I haven't seen that. But Copperheads, yes, Copperheads here. Let's see. Yeah, there's a good. Yeah, Mama's Gone Detecting, of course.
Yep.
Yep. And I have my wife Tina. She's here in the background somewhere. Yeah. Yeah. And CJ, thanks CJ for coming. And let's see. Who else we have here? I think I've got. Mark Thomas was here. Thanks for coming, Mark. Yeah, and he's another great supporter of the channels. I think we got it covered. I think we got covered. If I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but I think we have it covered.
Yeah, I wasn't watching the chat.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes, just flies by, so it's pretty hard.
And when you come on your phone, I had to quickly get my other one to pull it up.
Yeah, and Jersey History Hunters, yep, they are here. Yeah, they were here too. And
Totally.
Yeah, and JCam, thank you for coming.
JCam's actually one of my best friends. He's he's more like my brother than my friend.
Oh, okay. Yep. Good. Yeah, it's nice to have support,
He's a fellow
isn't it?
photographer.
Yeah, nice to have the support for sure. Ohio River History. Okay, he's here.
It's Shane.
Shane, yeah. Let's see. I think I've gone through just about every. Yep, I think that's all we've got. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, you got him.
Thanks, guys. I'll let everybody let themselves out, and I'm going
Thank
to
you,
hit
Frank.
my. Yeah, thanks, and I'm going to hit
thanks for having us.
You betcha. Anytime. I'm just going to go and find my get out main. I just lost it. Thank you. Here we go. Okay. See you, Anthony. Thanks.
See ya.
Cheers, everybody. Good luck.